Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Fan Experience. We are on episode 31. Thank you again for joining us, all of you in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter land. And welcome, new audience on LinkedIn Live and Twitch. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure for you to join us. And we got a great show in store for you today. Our guest today is Michael Raymond, the founder of Raymond Representation. We will bring him on in a little while. Before that, we got to go over some news and notes around the world of sports. And I mean, come on, I can't start with anything but the MLB and Mayor de Blasio approving the sale of the New York Mets to Mr. Steve Cohen. So it's done. And Stevie's taking over. He's already, talking about making some moves, possibly Brady with Van Wagenen might be on his way out. We'll see. I heard that he's actually looking for advice from Twitter. He wants.
I heard that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a Mets fan Christmas before Christmas. So I'm excited. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but of course I'm going to be excited about it, and as I should be, because it's been a hard 34 years since they took their last World Series. So hopefully within the next 5 years, I can actually go to a ticker tape parade if they're doing ticker tape parades anymore.
Too funny.
Rick, let me hear your thoughts on that.
Well, first of all, thanks everybody, and those of you who are watching on LinkedIn, welcome. It's election day, so I hope you guys got out there and vote. It's an exciting night. We'll see which way it goes. But getting to the Mets, it was just the right thing. Listen, it made sense for everybody. I mean, I don't think de Blasio was going to stand in the way of a 2.4 or whatever it is $billion deal. He would have been hated by Met fans. He would have gone down in history as the mayor who ruined the New York Mets. And so it wouldn't have been it would just been a disaster for the Mets. But the sale went through. Cohen's going to come in. He's going to be able to change the team right away. I don't see Brody Van Wagenen staying with the team. I think Sandy Allison's going to come in. They're going to change up some things. They're going to get some players in there, and they're going to put a team on the field that's a winning team. They're not going to they're going to have these constraints. They're not going to have to worry about the Madoff stuff or the money stuff or, we can't do this. No, they're going to be a competitive baseball team. Cohen's a fan. He wants to hear from the fans. He wants input from the fans. And I think that's a great thing. And I think, Mike, you're right. You're going to be a competitive team. You got the pitching, you need some bats, but you could see yourself in a World Series in a couple of years. I mean, why not?
I mean, they got a lot of pieces in place, like you said, and Pete Alonso is going to be, a great piece of that organization for a few years to come. Right. And Conforto is hitting his stride. McNeil, he's a guy that just doesn't quit. Obviously DeGrom, a two-time Cy Young Award winner. There's definitely those pieces out there that we can build upon, and hopefully, Stevie can bring in the right pieces that we're missing, and the right people to lead the charge, and I'm excited. So that being said, let's get moving on to week 8 of the NFL. It was a great week, man. It was a great week. We're at the midpoint of this season, and there's some really strong teams. There's some teams that, let's just say, aren't very, very. So that was the Jets highlights for this.
Yeah, pretty much. It was.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a staple of the show. We just have to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Steelers 7-0. I mean, that was a great game though.
It was.
that Steelers game was, was hard fought, back and forth, and Steelers they're looking good. I mean, I want to see them play against. I want to see them play against the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Steelers are a tough team. That defense is good. Obviously, they traded for Avery Williamson because they're down a linebacker. Who was it? Devin Bush got hurt. Was it Devin? I think it was Devin Bush who got hurt. Somebody got hurt over there, and they traded for Avery Williamson. So that's a nice pickup for there. He's a solid guy in the locker room. But listen, man, that's the coach I want for my team, bro. Mike Tomlin. He's the best coach in the NFL. He's underrated. He's got that team humming at 7-0. 2 years ago, he loses Antonio Brown. 2 years ago, he loses, Le'Veon Bell. Ben gets hurt last year. They're playing with Mason Rudolph, and they come back and look at them now, man. Chase Claypool, James Conner. I mean, they're just rolling. And behind, I think, Tennessee and the Chiefs, they're right now the best team in football. And it goes to show, man, they get a lead, and you get a lead in Lamar Jackson. His ceiling hits, man. It's tough for him to come back, but I like the way the Steelers are playing. They just have that feel of that team. Now, the question is, can they hold up against the Patrick Mahomes offense? I mean, that's the question you have to ask yourself. But, all around the league, I mean, you're seeing these young rookie quarterbacks play well. Joe Burrow, your guy, Justin Herbert, playing well. I mean, Tua came in. They beat the Rams in Miami. So that was a surprising win. So it was, it was just an incredible week of football. So, and then for our locals, listen, Daniel Jones, he's going to give you 2 picks every game. And then the Jets, what can you say, man? And then the troubling comments today by Joe Douglas, the general manager, saying, I haven't given Sam enough help. This one's on me. I believe in Adam. I believe in Sam. Wow. What are you looking at, man? I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. So it's but everybody else is doing well except us. So, that's week 8 in a nutshell. Nothing changes.
Yeah, I mean, it is anything going to change? I mean, let's be real with the Jets. But however, like the Giants last night, they played hard against Tom Brady and the Bucs. Like I thought that was a lie down game, and it was just going to be Tom Brady just taking control of it, and the Giants led for a good amount of that game, and they got screwed with some. That
was pass interference at the end. That was clearly pass interference.
Yeah, and Brady got the calls. The Giants didn't get the calls, and
what can you
do? So is life for the last 23 years. Brady just gets them all and never has to deal with any adversity on his end. Let's
It goes to show though. It's starting to you're starting to see that in New England that guy was like LeBron James basically. He carried the team. Without him now, they're just they've completely fallen apart.
Yeah.
With the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah, well, we could touch on a couple of more after our interview. Let's take a quick word from our sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this program is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in the below-the-waist grooming for – I don't have it up. I'm trying to –
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this part of the show is brought to you by below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineering tools for you and your family jewels. There are those times, man, where you just kind of let it ride, and it grows and grows and grows, and you're like, oh man, it's time to trim. It's time to hack away. So that's what Manscaped comes in, and that's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer for moments like that. Manscaped's engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created, and just released a new and improved lawnmower 3.0 in the U.S. Could you believe it? This thing shaves it like you wouldn't believe. Third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents, and we know those happen.
Yeah, and when we tell you this is premium, we mean premium. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave, and you can even do it in the shower with the waterproof technology. And one of the greatest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming. And they've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud, because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB.
Yeah, so if you're listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand. Here it is. the bag right here. You got the ball toner over here. For yourself. So let's get that bush to tush clean. Get 20% off free shipping with the code FANEXPERIENCE at manscaped.com. Let's make those testes your besties.
Yeah, guys, come on. Like you got to go out there and you got to get this product. It's 100%, much better than your average razor and buzzer. You got to go out there and get it. And girls, ladies, the holiday season is here. Get your man a new buzzer because you're going to be happy at the end of it. So go and get 20% off and free shipping with the code FANEXPERIENCE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use code FANEXPERIENCE at checkout under the discount code section. Your balls will thank you.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, yeah. So thank you again, Manscaped. It's a great product, and we're glad to talk about it. All right. So we were going to bring on our next guest. Joining us now is Michael Raymond from Raymond Representation. Mike, how are you?
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Great. Man? Thank you for coming on.
Man, I'm excited for this. I heard you guys talking about the Giants. I was getting a little nauseous.
If I recall, we only have 2 less wins than you.
Yeah.
The whole NFC East makes me nauseous. If that makes you feel a little bit better.
And they're all bad out there. They're terrible.
And like you call them the NFC least, correct?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I call them. You know, I'm not in agreement with the people that say none of the teams deserve to make the playoffs, because I do deserve that one of them. I do think that one of them deserves to make the playoffs. I don't care what the record is.
Oh man, I mean, let's hope it's not the Cowboys because they're brutal.
No, it's not going to be the Cowboys. Honestly, at this point, it might be the Redskins.
Yeah.
Well, the Redskins got a. Yeah. Oh, yes.
The football team.
Yes, the football team.
Oh, the Washington football team. Correct.
Can you imagine if the football team won a Super Bowl? I mean, come on, it won't happen. But I'm just saying, that'd be funny. That would be a funny sight to see. Speaking of the Cowboys, Andy Dalton has COVID now.
Yeah.
Does he really? Wow.
Yeah, that just came across the wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll be up.
Talking about starting Cooper Rush, right?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, possibly. So obviously you're wearing the Eagles sweatshirt. We know you're a big Eagles fan. You're definitely displaying that right now. So where did it all start for you? Where did the love for the Eagles come from? I know you're from Florida, but you had family that came from Pennsylvania. So walk us through that and how you grew the love for the Eagles.
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember it perfectly, like exactly how it started. So it really started during the Super Bowl when they played the Patriots the first time, back in the day. I think it was like 2004, 2005. And the Patriots won by a field goal. I don't know if you guys remember that game. But
with McNabb, right?
Yeah, that's when it really started. I mean, I didn't really watch football too much at that time. I was watching basketball, a lot, and I was watching the Marlins a lot at that time. And my dad put on the Eagles game, and I was young, and he was like, you got to root for the Eagles. You got to root for the Eagles. Like, we're from Philadelphia. We grew up in Cheltenham, that kind of thing. And so I was like, just rooting for the Eagles. I had to just, say to my parents, like a lot of other people that, they follow their parents' traditions, and I started rooting for them. But then I really just fell in love with them. After that, it was crazy. Like, Brian Westbrook was like my favorite player growing up, and Brian Dawkins and like Asante Samuel, Trent Cole. Like, I loved all of them. I even loved Kevin Kolb, like, Donovan McNabb's backup for a while. Like, I loved him. And then he even came along with Vic for a little bit, and, he backed up Michael Vick. And, then they got Michael Vick. And like, that was like when they got Michael Vick and like they built that super team that was like, in quote, the Super Bowl contender, every year. That's when I really, really fell in love with them and just became like totally addicted to watching every single Eagles game I couldn't miss. And you know what? In my house, my dad's the only one that's actually a Dolphins fan. Everyone else is an Eagles fan. So my dad, he actually left Philadelphia when he was 19 and came to Miami. And, he didn't like Philadelphia anymore. He was like, who doesn't want to live in Miami? So he came down to Miami, became a Dolphins fan. He actually was an hour late to his wedding because he watched the Dolphins win the Super Bowl. So diehard Eagles fan for life now.
That's awesome. And we know that those Philadelphia Eagles fans are very passionate, to say the least. You don't chime in. You don't chip in with all the throwing batteries at Santa Claus, do you?
No. You know what? I haven't missed one Eagles Dolphins game. I think they've played maybe 3 times since I've been watching football, and I've been to every single one. Unfortunately, the Dolphins actually kicked our butt last year. That was very embarrassing for me. That was probably one of the most embarrassing moments of my season. A lot of embarrassing moments though. And I actually flew to Philly a couple of years back. I believe it was when Carson Wentz was a rookie, and I went to the Vikings game, and they won, and it was a crazy experience. I never saw Philadelphia fans. I never been to Lincoln Financial. That was the first time I was there. And it was an experience. I'll tell you that. They're crazy. They are way worse than Miami Dolphins fans.
Yeah. No, it's crazy going to. I've never been to Philadelphia Stadium, and honestly, I'm not looking forward to it either.
Yeah, no, it's a show.
I hear horror stories, so I don't want to go there in the opposing team's gear. I want to.
Yeah.
But even when the Phillies come to Shea Stadium, City Field, it's like there's fights every single time.
Yeah,
there's always a fight, and it's.
I feel like Philly fans, they don't really care about Washington that much. It's like the last team that they're worried about. It's definitely Dallas and the Giants. Yeah. It always will be. I think it always will be. This year, I don't think this year Dallas is going to be. I don't think they're going to win more than maybe 2 or 3 more games.
I mean, with Dak going out, Dallas was the favorite with Dak, but even with Dak, they were 1-3.
No, for sure.
But so trade deadline, went and passed today, and the Eagles definitely needed a couple of pieces to contend. Tell us about how you feel. Sound off. Once again, another
disappointing Eagle, take for this year. Just to add on to the terrible season that's happening right now. I totally agree. I think they needed either an inside linebacker. They definitely could have maybe added another corner to go with Darius Slay. I heard Stephen Gilmore from the Patriots was supposedly available. I would have offered for him.
Yeah, they wanted the first round pick.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, though, what's the Eagles' first round pick going to be? 12 to 15. What are they going to draft? Another terrible receiver because they never draft good receivers. Especially this year where they basically skipped over CeeDee Lamb when they could have drafted it. They could have traded up 2 or 3 spots and got him and Justin Jefferson. Yeah. But I like Jalen Reagor. I want to see what happens. I do like him. I think he's going to be talented. But the trade deadline was super disappointing. I even thought with some of the injuries, maybe even, picking up a running back, maybe just a third string running back, because Miles Sanders gets hurt all the time. I don't know if he's going to come back. Definitely thought we could get a receiver. Of course, who doesn't think that on the Eagles? But you know what? There's a story to be told with this kid, Fulgham. I mean, I can't believe it. He's playing unbelievable, and he looks like a star. He plays with that swag when he's on the field. He doesn't look like some random guy that's just balling out. He looks like a star when he's playing. So I like him a lot, and I do like Greg Ward, but obviously he's a young guy, practice squad guy. Man, listen, I'm disappointed. I thought they needed to make a move. I'm not happy at all with Howie Roseman. I think Howie Roseman is unbelievably disappointing. I think he is one of the worst GMs in drafting. Honestly, I think he's one of the worst drafting GMs.
Wow. Okay.
Other than Carson Wentz, which is debatable now. It's debatable. I love Carson. I'm not gonna talk smack about Carson. I'm a Carson Wentz guy. But he is one of the worst GMs, I think, when it comes to drafting. Honestly, I think he's done a terrible job.
Well, That's incredible. You're feeling. I hear all this disappointment. I mean, it sounds like you're you almost sound like Gus as Jet fan. I hear all this disappointment about Harry Roseman is awful, but you guys won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. So at least let's get into that bright moment that you had. What was it like being an Eagles fan? First Super Bowl in God knows how many, however many years it was. Take us at least to that moment of brightness and hope.
First Super Bowl ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Forever. Take us to that time when they run the Philly special and they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
And what you thought when Carson Wentz went down.
Talk about it. Let me talk about the game that Wentz got hurt.
Yeah. Let's go back to that.
So important in this discussion. Yeah. I cried that night. All right. I swear. My roommate will tell you guys, I was in my bed. I remember I was in Orlando. I was at UCF. I was senior year. I literally cried because I'm such a big Carson Wentz fan. Like when we drafted him, I was so excited. I didn't want Jared Goff at all. I was not a fan of Goff. I was like, if anything, don't get Wentz, get Ezekiel Elliott, and let's keep Bradford. I was like, let's just try Bradford out another year and get Ezekiel Elliott. But then we got Wentz, and I was so excited. So I love Carson. Obviously not having the greatest year right now, but I still love him. So when he got hurt, I cried. I thought the season was over. I was like, they're going to make the playoffs. Big deal. They're going to lose in the first round. Who cares? So then Nick Foles comes in, right? And I obviously love Nick Foles too. Like I watched Nick Foles. He had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That one year he balled out. Yeah. I loved him. So I was like, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But I wasn't very excited. And he didn't play great, actually. I think they played the Giants. They played Oakland. There was like 2 or 3 games left at the end of the season, and he didn't play that great. I don't know if you guys remember specifically, but I know he didn't play great versus Oakland. He almost lost that game. And at the very end, he came back and we won. And Oakland was terrible that year. I think they were having one of the worst years. So I was like, dude, we're going to get killed in the first round. I was like, we're going to get killed. Then this guy just, God takes over him. Tom Brady's spirit comes inside of him. And we beat Atlanta. I have a video of me reacting to the Atlanta field goal. When we hit that field goal, I literally ran out of my house and I almost broke the door down. It was crazy. So that game, that game was close. When Julio Jones missed the touchdown at the end, it went, he jumped up for it and he missed it. But and then the Vikings game, what the hell was that? Nick Foles just turns into the greatest football player I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the Super Bowl, I can't even tell you, dude. I had a Super Bowl party at my house. Did not think they were going to win. Yeah. But, obviously I was rooting for them. And it was honestly one of the best days of my life when it came to sports. I broke my fence in my backyard. I jumped in my pool. I literally had an entire freak out. I couldn't believe it. I think I cried a little bit because one of the reasons I cried, I'll get a little personal, but my grandfather is from Philadelphia. Okay. And he's very old. He's like 93 now. And he was a huge Eagles fan. Unfortunately, now he's so old he doesn't even watch them anymore, and he can't even remember the guys. But at the time, he was such a huge Eagles fan still, and he was crying that he got to see them win before he's gone. So, now he's getting there. He's close. So, he's like 94 now, and he's getting old, and he's not feeling the best. So thankfully that he got to see that. So that's another reason that it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome that you got to share that, and you're gonna always have that memory too. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'll never forget it. And I love Nick Foles forever for that. I love him.
And you're also you're from Florida, so you're also a Heat fan. So you're the second Heat fan we've had on this show. We had Nick Aquilino who sang in Game 3 of the finals. But where did your love of the Miami Heat come? Where did that all start?
That's easy. Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade. I mean, don't get me wrong. I watched Allen Iverson, growing up a lot. I was a huge Allen Iverson fan. I was also a very big Tracy McGrady fan.
T-Mac.
He's like a low-key player that people don't really talk about. I love T-Mac. I used to play with him in NBA Live, before 2K was the thing. I love Tracy McGrady, and I love Vince Carter too. So before Dwayne Wade, I was on those guys. And then Dwayne Wade, obviously I lived I live 20 minutes. I'm in Miami now, and I live 20 minutes north of here in Weston. So I can literally see the arena right now from my apartment. So I always look at it and I think of the Heat. And I just grew up watching them. And I watched Philly and the Heat together kind of, growing up. But then the Heat were so good. They were so good with Dwayne Wade early on. I think his third year, right? They won it. This third year they won it. And they had Shaq for that time and Alonzo and all those guys. So I was just so hype on the Heat, and all my friends were Heat fans. And that's really where my love for basketball just kind of started. The football was totally different because I didn't have friends in my ear kind of telling me to, watch the Dolphins, because none of us really watched football.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really how it started.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, what you got going on right now, because it's impressive. I love the drive, the ambition, and that's really what it's all about. So you went out, you started your own pretty much sports agency, sports management company.
Yeah.
So walk us through, where the idea came from that you wanted to go forward with that, and what kind of steps did you take to get there?
Yeah, I mean, so dating back to like freshman year of high school, I knew I wanted to work on the business side of basketball. I didn't know I wanted to be an agent at the time. Obviously I say this in all the interviews that the people ask me, but everyone watches Jerry Maguire and those movies, right? So like I knew of what agents were and like what they did, but I had no idea really, like what it took and some of the things that you need to learn, and I didn't even know you had to be certified, etc. All those kind of things. Like a lot of young kids. So in high school, I knew I wanted to work on the business side of basketball though, because I stopped playing. I used to play basketball every single day. I played high school, and I wanted to play college and all these kind of things. And then I was like, I'm not going to play. So I wanted to stay in that realm just because I was always around athletes. I had very good relationships. My best friends were, athletes, stuff like that. So I knew I wanted to work on the business side. So then when I got to UCF is where it really kind of changed. That's where I kind of really learned a lot. I had a really good mentor, Scott Buckstein, who runs the sports program at UCF. He literally took me under his wing and taught me everything I know now. So I think having a mentor is where to start, first of all. And his brother is a GM of the Phoenix Suns right now, and he was an agent for like 10 years. So he knew a lot. He knew a lot, and he put me in connection with the right people. So while I was at UCF, I really just started to strategically build my network. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work in basketball, whether it was an agent, whether it was a business manager, whether it was maybe for a team. And then I also knew I wanted to go to law school, which I'm in law school now, University of Miami. I knew I always wanted to go to law school. So I was like, I'm going to find a way to kind of tie the two together, And then, obviously being an agent and a lawyer, that's usually the realm that a lot of people go. And I knew that was going to be helpful. So I was like, I definitely got to go to law school. So, but just going back to, how this kind of started was I honestly just strategically built a really good relationships with a lot of athletes at UCF, a lot of athletes in the Orlando area, professional ones included. I worked for the Magic. I worked for UCF Athletics. I really grinded with the internships and that kind of stuff, but all sport business related. I focused on that. And, yeah, man. And, I even a really important thing was, connecting with coaches and trainers and people in that area that knew all the players. They think, meeting the players is the most important thing, but it's not. The trainers are the ones that know all the players. And the trainers are the most low-key guys out of the group. So, like, even in Miami now, I know all the trainers down here. And they got, right now, Andre Drummond's down the street at the Miami perimeter with Remy, with John Wall, James Harden, all these big-name guys. They're right down the street training. And a lot of people don't know about that. But if you know the trainers, that's the best way. But to get into why I started this was basically, during COVID is where I really was like, all right, I think it's time to take the next step because, I interned for 2 agents during my time in Orlando and in Miami. And then I was interning with Orrin Mayers, who is the business manager for Ray Allen. And as of right now, he has Ja Morant, which is crazy because can't believe that he got Ja Morant, which is crazy. So I did a lot of stuff with Orrin, and I learned a lot through him as well. He was a mentor to me, unbelievable guy. I love him. So, I had athletes kind of messaging me and, kind of asking me different things, just advice on business, advice on even agents, what agent should I sign with? A bunch of different agents, who do you like? What's a good fit? Excuse me. And, what teams do you like? Can you reach out to any G League contacts that you might have? Can you reach out to this, just a bunch of different things. And I was like, you know what, even though I'm not agent certified right now, which, hopefully I'm going to be agent certified in the next 2 to 3 months, the test is going to be in January. So I'm signed up for the exam.
Awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. So I was like, I could definitely start an athlete management company though. And I could start building the foundation, to be able to have clients, to be able to build my brand out. start doing the social media, start doing, building the network and continuing to get in that world. And it's honestly worked out. It was great. I didn't expect to do it. Honestly, at this point, I thought I was going to be interning with some bigger agency. I had plans. I thought I was going to intern with the MBPA for this summer, but then COVID kind of, shut everything down. Like a lot of students got hit with that. So there's nothing you can do. You just got to move on. You got to move on, change your path, and that's it.
Yeah, I applaud you for it all, and I love you just going head first into it all, and during quarantine. I mean, how many times we've heard this?
Yeah,
during quarantine, people are just grinding.
Yeah.
You have two options. You can watch Netflix all day, or you can grind and make something of yourself. Build something, and it's awesome to hear all these amazing stories. But yeah, kudos to you, absolutely. So now is it mostly basketball, or are you dabbling in a couple of other sports?
Yeah, so my focus will always be basketball. I'm not going to lie and say it's other sports. I mean, I do have other clients in other sports right now. I'm also doing a lot of work in the esports world, which is something I never thought I would be doing. But I'm actually like a part owner of an esports team, and I manage them, which is crazy. I never thought, but it was my two really good friends from school, and they started it and started to do really well. They were winning a lot of big tournaments, and we're building up for the next Call of Duty season that's coming in the next 2 weeks for the new Call of Duty. Excuse me again. I don't know what's going on with my throat. I might have COVID.
Careful, man. I had it. It sucks. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But my focus is definitely basketball, especially once I get certified as an agent. I'm gonna I haven't even recruited yet, which is crazy. I haven't even actively tried to recruit a player. I've done everything either through my network, through a personal friend, a player that knows another player, or social media, which has been a huge thing, is LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. I've met a bunch of players. They message me, they might see my stuff, or I'll message them and I'll be like, yo, I know this guy, you're related to him, you know him. And I got 10 guys in a 2 or 3 month span, and I didn't recruit at all. So I'm excited for the opportunity when I'm done school to really dive in and, go to the big basketball events like the Portsmouth, the Jordan Classic, McDonald's, go to Summer League. My dream was to go to Summer League this summer. And then obviously, God bless.
Yeah.
COVID was terrible, and it still is. But I can't wait to go to Summer League when it's back, because that was I know Summer League is where you meet a lot of guys, a lot of GMs are there, a lot of agents, and it's just networking heaven. I wouldn't even go for the fun. I would go for networking. So yeah, it's exciting. But yeah, I have 2 golfers right now. I have 4 basketball players, an esports team. I have a football player from UCF, and I'm about to start working with a lacrosse player, which he goes to law school with me, but he was the MVP of the MLL, and he just won the championship. His name is Bryce Wasserman. So him, and then the esports team. So yeah, it's all over the place right now, but the basketball is the focus for sure.
Let me ask you this. You got the basketball. So it's tough out there, right? You got CAA, you got Rock Nation, you got obviously Rich Paul out there. I mean, how are you going to separate yourself from all those guys, from all those big names, from all those top agencies out there, in the league?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's tough, right? It's tough. I mean, they're obviously, they have the money. The money is the big thing. It's not the network, it's the money that they have. They obviously have a big network, but I feel like I've put in the time to, right now, one of the things that I say that I didn't feel comfortable with last year was I feel comfortable right now to put a player through an entire pre-draft process in Miami if I had to. That's something that last year, or even 6 months ago, I did not feel comfortable at all. I was like, if I had a first round guy, God forbid, a first round guy walk through my door, I was nervous. I didn't really know what I would do. But then I kind of sat down, I sat down with my mentors, stuff like that. And I was like, damn, I kind of know enough people to pull this off. I think I could do it. And, I got the trainers, I got the living, I got, the money, I have it if I need it. I know exactly where I'd put them. I know exactly what I would do, health and nutrition wise, cooking, whatever. So I feel a lot more comfortable with that. So, obviously one of the ways to differentiate myself is kind of being a little bit more relatable. One of the things that I see now, a lot of the players tell me is, they don't really have fantastic relationships with their agents. And that's not saying that the agent's not a great agent, because, these guys, a lot of these guys sign with certain agents because they want to get, good money. They want to get a good team contract. They don't really care about the buddy,
Right.
Like Rosenhaus, he makes a name for getting players where they want to go, getting them the money. He's the man for that. I'm sure not every player has a really good relationship with him, when it comes to being, a friendly guy. So, but yeah, I mean, one of the ways that I've seen that I've really differentiated myself, and I think players, would agree, is I'm just so relatable to them. And, I also bring other things to the table, like this new generation of like an entrepreneurial mindset, social media, investing in other businesses, doing a lot of those different things, starting an apparel brand. And a lot of these old school agents, and I'm not trying to take shots at them. They could care less about social media. They could care less about, these new entrepreneurial things that are going on with podcasts, all the Instagram lives, TikTok. They're like, I don't care about podcasts. But they're going to lose future players because of that. The new wave, all these players are trying to do their own podcast. They're trying to get their story out. They're trying to build a brand. They're trying to do social media. They can make so much money on the side through all these different things. So what I've been doing during this whole COVID thing is just mastering that. I've been mastering that. I was like, listen, I'm not going to really be able to differentiate myself when it comes to, negotiating a contract, when it comes to me versus Rich Paul. Like, I don't have not even close. Not even close. So, if I do have a first round pick, thankfully a first round contract is not that tough to negotiate. You really can't change a lot of the terms. I've heard that from a lot of agents, first round pick. It's more the G League guys and international guys, which is actually interesting because I've actually, I've had a couple international guys and I've looked over their contracts and stuff like that. So I've been starting to build that, that education when it comes to that. And yeah, man, it's exciting. I really can't wait to be certified. I think it's going to take it to the next level when I do get certified.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like I said, it was it's just great to hear all this. And you talk about it's all about personal brand right now. Like,
and connections.
You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta make those connections. You gotta just be seen. And I mean, you're doing it yourself. Like, this isn't the first podcast that you've been on. Like, I've seen you. You've been making the rounds. So which is great. And
just to add to that, like when I was in Orlando in my first year in Miami, I was at every basketball event there was. Every basketball event that I knew of, at least, like high school games that are big, big time high school games, Miami Pro in the summertime, I was there. Every single basketball event I was there because these guys, it's a small world. They remember your face. I'll see, like, it's crazy to think this, but I'll see even like a Miami Heat player, not like a Tyler Hero or anything like that, but like maybe a Chris Silva or like a Kendrick Nunn. I trained Kendrick Nunn at the Pro Basketball Combine. Like, like we would remember each other, It's such a small world. You think it's crazy. Like I would like 2 years ago, I'd freak out if I was like in front of Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero is just a kid, man. He's younger than me. And I'm a kid, You just got to remember that. Like, dude, the kid's a young guy, he's into cars. I'm a huge car guy. So like I talk to him about cars. I love fashion. I love shoes. We talk about that. And, the basketball stuff comes later. I don't even talk about the basketball stuff. That's how I meet a lot of these guys. And that's how, I start these relationships with them is I don't even talk about basketball. So,
And then you just basically from there, you just pitch them, right? You just like kind of.
Yeah. I mean, see, I don't even pitch them, to be honest. I mean, I really pride myself. This like my main thing is I try to really build, genuine, real relationships. I mean, one of the things that I'm trying to do here is really build trust. They want trust. These players want someone that they could trust. They don't really care if one agent can negotiate better than the other. If one has a few more contacts than the other, they want someone that they could trust. They want someone they could call anytime. I talk to Justin Gray almost every single day. He calls me every single day.
Oh, wow.
Conversation. And I talk to all my guys almost every single day. And I try to FaceTime them, not call them. I try to FaceTime them. And even if it's for 2 minutes, I'll just call them for 2 minutes. While I'm in the gym, I might be hitting a set, like, you better get in the gym. I'm in the gym. You better get in the gym.
Of course, yeah.
Them. Like this morning, my guy Keaton called me while I was on a run, and I was like, "You better get outside. You better go hit that run." Like, just little things like that is how you continue to build the relationships. And that's what's lacking in the agent game. There's a handful, like you said, Rich Paul, CAA, Bill Duffy, Mark Bottlestein. There's like 6 or 7 guys that are really, really good. They're really good. I'm never going to compete with them now. Now, obviously, right. I always believe. As of right now, I'm not going to compete with those guys. But when it comes to a lot of these international agents and these G League agents, I know a ton of them. And I'm not trying to take shots, but I think, I definitely can, level, I think I can take another level compared to them. They don't really invest in their players the way that I would like to. They don't market them how I would like to. They don't use social media. They don't call them every day, and they kind of just brush them off to the side. So, yeah.
Yep. No.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's like a quality connection instead of quantity of connections. Exactly. You'd spend more time with each person that you represent, and it really shines through, and that's why you can build their trust. And but by all means, like if you need any of your guys to come on and
yes.
need an outlet,
for sure.
Definitely, give us a call. Of course,
they got a home here.
We will.
Sure.
We will slot them in, and whatever help you need on our end, we're more than happy to help. But yeah, I mean, I just I love everything that you're doing, and keep it up, because you can you're definitely going to go and make something of this thing at the pace that you're going.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. I mean, listen, like I say this a lot, it's all because of my guys. They believe in me. It's like people like you that believe in me, and I love what you're doing as well, and I believe in what you're doing. I think this is awesome, and that's what it's all about. It's all about meaningful relationships. Like now that we've done this, I feel like I could come on. You come on anything of mine, and we can just help each other out whenever we need it. So. That's how you get somewhere in life. I learned that early on. It's the hands you shake. It's the hands you shake, and it's who knows you. I'm in law school, and it's like almost irrelevant. I'm just trying to get through at this point and just get that degree, so I could just kind of focus on the basketball stuff, because I just want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
We love. Oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying, like, we love doing this. Like, we're bringing on all these great people. Whether they're in or out of the industry. Just people that that love sports, and we could just relate to one another. No matter what the team is. Like I'm a Jets and Giants. You're Eagles. Like obviously we're supposed to be like sworn enemies supposedly, but no. It's all about the. But it's just great. The relationships that we're forming through this podcast has been awesome, and obviously me and you connected through Dunny. Yeah. And Donnie, was a great guest. He's been helping us out a lot, and just giving us other guests and stuff. And it's just building these relationships. Just like you are building these relationships with the players around you. Those are going to form more and more and more relationships, and before you know it, you're going to be CAA and Rock Nation.
Yeah, it'd be a blessing. I'll tell you that.
Final one from. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just asked, like, a lot of these. Now, I don't know if you noticed, like Brody Van Wagenen. You got the GM in the Warriors, Leon Rose at the Knicks. A lot of these guys have become GMs and presidents of basketball operations. No, not something that's up your.
Why? I'll be honest. Let me be honest. I don't think scouting players is one of my cup of teas. I have good friends, right? Like right now, I actually have 2 scouts like on my team that help me with a lot of stuff. I don't think I would be great at it, to be honest. And I don't even want to get involved, honestly, on the team side. I worked with the Magic, and I was in the team office. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's for me. Honestly, I think what I would do is focus on the agent side. And then if anything, the agent and the management side, I like the business manager side as well. I actually like it more, actually, than the agent side, because you could do a lot more when it comes to like marketing and endorsements and sponsors, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And your relationship is way closer with the player. You get to help them with everything when it comes to their family, lifestyle. So that's my focus. But honestly, my dream is to do that, plus use my law degree to do like consulting for like teams and for leagues. Okay. Yeah, like that's what I want to do for sure. And then I want to invest a lot. I want to be an entrepreneur. I like investing in different brands, like an esports team. I want to continue to do that and build that. I'm a big financial guy.
Got one on the bottom right there.
Yeah.
Playing the field.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like investing in a podcast, like an apparel brand, stuff like that. Like I'm into like the entrepreneurial stuff. Like Justin Gray, we just opened up an apparel brand with him and his best friend Marshall, who's my good friend, Filthy Humans. It's gonna launch soon. Austin Mills, my client, we just opened an apparel store with Fan Arch, and he sold like $1,000 worth in like 2 days, which is crazy. Like he did really well. So. Yeah, man, I'm into all that kind of things. I don't think I'd be on the team side.
All right.
Never know.
Never know.
Well, yeah, never say never, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, well, I appreciate you coming on, and it was absolutely great. Last week was all about team ownership and stuff, and now we got player management going on. So we've been having a lot of fun and learning a lot of different things. With all of our guests that are coming on, but you were awesome, and we wish you the best of luck, and we'll be talking plenty for sure.
Yeah, no, of course, we'll stay in contact, and then I'll definitely try to get some more people on here, and
appreciate that.
My players, that'd be awesome. Maybe we even do like a player segment.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, we could have like a kind of like a rapid fire or whatever too. Yeah, we can have a couple of them on it at once. We could host up to like 10. So
so you could do like a basketball segment for my guys. Listen, that's what I'm all about. The reason I'm doing what I'm doing is so the players have a voice. They all have a story to tell, no matter what. Whether they're a first round guy, a star, an all-star, they all have a community that they're from. They have a voice. They have people that love them. They have a fan base. They have a brand. So that's all what I'm about here. So.
Yeah,
absolutely,
and that's what it's all about. I mean, I see like Juju Smith-Schuster and like Chase Claypool like all over like TikTok and stuff.
Unreal,
Unreal. And even Chase Claypool saying losing, never heard of her on like Twitter the other day. I was like,
that guy from Philadelphia too. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. The basketball player, Thibault, I think.
Not familiar.
Not familiar with him.
Yeah, I don't.
Like the Sixers.
He plays for the Sixers, and he's a young guy. He is killing it on social media, TikTok, Instagram, over 500,000. Doing an amazing job. He's one of the best players that I've seen. Juju, I love what he's doing with the esports and social media. Like that's the goal. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And every player, obviously it's going to be different for every player, but every player can use their interests, use their hobbies. Pick 2 or 3 things that they want to do. And they can do it. They just need the guidance. They need the help. They focus on basketball all day.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of them don't have the time to do this. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah,
Literally
exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Mike. And
Mike, always a pleasure. Anytime you want to come on, let us know.
Yeah.
I'll come on again to rant when the Eagles they're going to probably make the playoffs.
Yeah. The playoffs with 6 wins.
Yeah.
They'll make the playoffs with 6 wins. All right.
I'm going to come back on when they beat Chicago and they beat Nick Foles in the first round of the playoffs.
Done deal.
In Philadelphia.
Done deal.
You think the Chicago Bears are going to make it to the playoffs? They were talking about starting Trubisky back up.
This is the last thing I'll say before I'm done.
Okay, go ahead.
I never thought Nick Foles was better than Carson Wentz, and I'll never say that out loud because I don't believe it. I really don't. Nick Foles had a span of games, played unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I love him to death. Thank you for doing it for the city of Philadelphia. Carson Wentz is far more talented. Yes, he's not having a great year. I think it's a little bit of mental with him this year. But also he doesn't have consistent talent. He's winning games. He's not playing the greatest, but he's winning games. And, hopefully he goes on win streak. I think we play the Giants, right? In 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah. After the bye. After the bye,
we have a bye week. Carson Wentz could get a little bit healthier, relax a little bit, maybe get out of his head. Jalen Reagor, maybe Zach Ertz, Miles Sanders comes back for the Giants. Yeah. That's going to be big time. We got all of our receivers back except Alshon, who I don't even care about anymore.
Yeah, just a waste of space.
Waste of space. We got Fulgham, Reagor.
Deshaun Jackson. I mean,
what happened to him?
We got Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott. That's enough to win 6 or 7 games, in my opinion, as long as Lane Johnson plays and the offensive line is there. I think Wentz could do it. Okay. And you know what? Listen, if he had consistent play, I always think that he's going to be good. I think if he was on Dallas right now, they'd be a 10-win team. So,
all right.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
we will definitely find a spot to get you in for
I'll be ready.
playoff time.
I'll be ready.
All
All
right, man.
righty. All right. Have a good night.
Yes,
Have a good one, man. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Bye-bye.
Man, that's a
Oh,
great
man.
story.
Yeah, man. I
Straight out
mean,
of college, man.
yeah, I mean, really, even before that too. Like,
Yeah.
he had the itch, back in high school. But yeah, I mean, kudos to him. I've always thought about that as well. Like you said, when you're a kid, like that's what you think. You think of these things because there's Jerry Maguire and things like Entourage with Ari Gold. For
But
like
that's a
the
lot.
talent
He
side.
must have to deal with a lot of stuff, man. I mean, he's got so much he's got to do. He's got to get these players, get them in town, get them in shape, got to be all there all the time. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, but kudos to him, and we see him like everywhere. He's always got his finger into something, and he's going to do great things.
Yeah,
another one. With and by the way, Kevin, he's like partnering with a whole bunch of people. Apparel brands with different athletes, and so kudos to you, Kevin, if you're watching. Congrats, man.
Yeah, and it's funny, COVID, man. It's some people, just said, hey, just gonna ride this out. Other people just grinded, man. And these kids, they just grinded, man. So kudos to them. Great job.
Yeah,
like us. Yeah,
we're just grinding, and you know what? I mean, it's a fun grind. I'm not gonna lie. So should we break down some of these trade deadline deals that the very little that there are? The Dolphins got DeAndre Washington from the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs had an expendable running back with signing Le'Veon Bell and all that, and they got sent over a 2021 7th round. 2021 7th round from the Chiefs goes to Miami, and 2021 6th round goes to Kansas City from Miami.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it was a pick for a pick, and then they threw in DeAndre Washington for the most part. They moved up around. But the Patriots got Isaiah Ford, another wide receiver from the Dolphins. They don't think, Edelman. They think Edelman's done.
I think so, man. I think now that Brady's gone, I mean, he has nobody to throw him the ball, and I think he's a shot fighter, man. I think he's just out there, with nothing left.
Cam Newton with that fumble and the end of that game, unbelievable. They cannot get out of their own way over there. And I mean, it goes to show you, like everyone was going to say, who's going to do better, Belichick without Brady or Brady without Belichick? And I mean, it's going to show you.
Listen,
Brady meant a little bit more than people thought.
Listen, Brady may have won the battle, but I think in the long run, Belichick wins the war. Look, they had to sell out, like he said, they had to sell out to get all these Super Bowls in the AFC champion. Now he's got to rebuild the team. He's got a bare cabinet, man. So he's got to stock it up, and I think he will. Give him a couple of years. Some people say he's bad at drafting or whatever. I think he's just trying to bring the right guys in there. But give him a couple of years, they'll be back.
Oh yeah, I mean they're not. They're not going to go into like Jetsville over there.
No, they're not going to Jets, and the Jets are not beating them.
Can you imagine if the Jets had a semi-decent season? We could have put the Patriots in the freaking cellar.
Yeah,
we could have put the Patriots at the bottom, but the Jets, of course, they can't do that on a year that it was pretty much handed to them. I mean, they weren't going to win the division, but let's get third place at least. But anyway, the Chargers traded a cornerback to the Titans, so the Titans improved their secondary a little bit. Niners are pretty much done. I mean, they lost a lot of key pieces. Kittle might be done for the year. Garoppolo's going to miss a few weeks. Mostert's still hurt, so the Niners are just in trouble. They traded linebacker to the Saints. And they got a linebacker back with Kiko Alonso. Quan Alexander went to the Saints.
Yeah.
The
Packers didn't make any trades, which is odd.
Yeah. So the Packers were looking into Will Fuller.
And they didn't pull the trigger. They didn't get him.
And I think because Houston's trying to cut their losses because they lost so many draft picks because of freaking the imbecile Bill O'Brien. They're asking for a king's ransom just to trade off pieces.
Yeah,
which I get it, but at the same time, like, I guess take anything you can get. But Will Fuller would have been a nice little addition to the Packers wide receiver core for sure.
Yeah,
even with his injury history, but like, come on, like if even if they had him for like 5 games,
they could have helped him.
Like unbelievable. Like, Devontae Adams can't catch 2-3 touchdowns every single game, can he?
I mean, listen, you keep throwing him the ball, he will. I mean, he keeps getting open, throw it to him. But you're right, they need some help. And that's the typical Packers, man. They just never pulled the trigger during these times of year. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because maybe there's not like an owner there or whatever it is. But, man, you got to – I feel like they should have gotten more Super Bowls out of Aaron Rodgers, and they just haven't helped him getting talent in there. So, I mean, you put him up against Seattle, I don't see how they beat him now. I just don't.
Yeah, and I'm seeing here, Jay Glazer reported that the Jets wouldn't expect to get much if they traded quarterback Sam Darnold. That came through at like 347 today.
Wow.
And then at 401, it said Will Fuller will not be traded.
Yeah. Well, Sam's hurt too, so.
They're
waiting. People, whoever's going to get him is going to get him low, like when the Jets just want to give up on him.
They were shopping Herndon too.
Good. They should just cut him. He stinks. That guy's brutal, man. That guy's awful. Awful.
Yeah, did you see what Golden Tate's wife posted on Instagram? Because I didn't watch it.
She posted something about him not getting the ball or like something like that. I mean, this stuff is just, like they should have traded him today. Like, just move him on, get him to go somewhere else and work, and that's it, man. Just get rid of him.
Yeah. The teams were trying to get Fuller for a 4th or 5th round pick, but they wanted a first round. So, and Stephon Gilmore was in the news for being traded, but nobody ended up pulling the trigger because that was a first round pick they wanted back also. So that's that for we have any other the Justin Herbert, man, and the Broncos winning at the end there. That was kind of brutal.
Yeah. But listen, that kid's going to win a lot more games, man. So just stick with him.
Oh, and let's talk about, I mean, we didn't mention it, when we had the Eagles fan on, but the Eagles, that 4th quarter, man, you had that fumble, and then the guy had the ball. He had clear possession, and it got yanked out, and they still said he didn't have possession. Like, how much time did they spend actually reviewing that play? Because that was just ridiculous.
Couple seconds.
But even a couple seconds, like you could see that plain as day that, they actually had to use force to get that ball out. So that should not have been a touchdown, but I'm okay with it because I had the Eagles defense in fantasy and I ended up winning me the game. So I'm good. So thank you. The refs actually pulling through for me for a second, but that was just crazy. That was a horrible call. It
was just like the Giants pass interference, but listen, that division is going to be 6-10, and it's just going to be brutal.
Yeah,
that NFC East is just brutal.
And if the NFC least,
the NFC least,
Russell Wilson still pimping it.
That guy, him, DK Metcalf's the best receiver in the league. By the way,
he's like averaging a touchdown pass
receiver in the league.
Yeah, yeah, he was unbelievable. But do you know that Russell Wilson's like averaging a touchdown pass every 9 attempts or something like that?
It's incredible.
That's insane.
It's just incredible. The guy, and did you hear his training thing? He trains 363 days a week. He only takes off for Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's incredible, man. That's dedication. I mean, I respect that 100%.
Yeah, probably why he named his child Winning, or what is it? Winner,
something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he's a winner, dude. He's a winner.
Yo, and you know what? This was a surprise, though. Joe Burrow beating the Tennessee Titans, who were 5-0 2 weeks ago.
Listen, man, that kid's a stud. I mean,
he is.
And I don't want to hear about a quarterback playing on a crappy team like our quarterback is. He's a stud. The guy wins, and that's
throwing for like 300, 400 yards, like a game.
Yeah.
And he's great. the Bengals lucked out with him this year, and they need to just build an offensive line. They need to build a defense around them too, because they got no pass rush at all. The quarterbacks just sit in the pocket that they play against. So in due time, but Burrow is definitely the real deal.
Yes.
And Trevor Lawrence has COVID, by the way.
Yeah, that's interesting. And
Yeah.
Andy Dalton had COVID too.
Andy
right?
Dalton, somebody on the Packers, John Elway.
John Elway got COVID. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's. Listen, man. I mean, you just can't escape it anywhere. It's just all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously it's making its way around, but they're doing pretty good. Other than that Titans debacle, where they decided, hey, we all got COVID, we're gonna go practice anyway. But that obviously them putting in those stricter rules, taking away draft picks, they still might get fined. They're still talking about fining them a little bit more, or punishing them somehow for doing what they did. But other than that, really they've done a good job in containing it and quarantining off those people that came in contact with them. And I'm guessing they're keeping everything separate. I'm guessing like special teams practices in one facility, offense is in one, defense is in one. I mean, that's what it seems like.
But by the way, did you see that the MLB is considering doing the World Series in a neutral site?
No, I did not.
You see that? Yeah, that came out today that Rob Manfred was considering that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the Super Bowl, but
yeah,
I don't know. I
don't like it.
I guess it's yeah. I mean, if it's a matter of the COVID issue, then all right. But no, I want to. If the Mets go to the World Series at some point in the next 5 years, or 2 points in the next 5 years,
give him 2 years. Give him 2 years.
I want to be at Citi Field. I'm sorry. I want to be at Citi Field, have my Shake Shack burger. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna call up Adam, and maybe he'll have his he'll have the food service there, and we'll order from there. But anyway, I don't like it. I want to be at Citi Field, and I'm sure you want to be at Yankee Stadium.
I got to tell you, I like going to Citi Field better. It's more fun. Yankee Stadium is too corporate for me. It's just too.
I completely agree. That's why I don't like to go to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I hated it. I went to the old Yankee Stadium once, and I couldn't. I couldn't ever go back.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I've gotten free tickets, and I'm like, I don't want to go.
It's not fun.
Go Mets.
Go Mets. Thank you, Justin.
Absolutely, Justin.
There you go.
Within the next 5 years, we will get there. We will get our rings. We will hoist that trophy up. Pete Alonso will win World Series MVP. And all will be well in the world again. So let's do a quick preview of Thursday Night Football, and let's let everyone get back to tracking the election.
I think it's over.
Progress here.
I think it's done.
The election. Well, we're not talking about it.
We're not talking politics.
Okay.
I'm going to start drinking after this because this is pretty depressing. But I think it's done.
All right. So we have the Packers and the 49ers. Is it in Green Bay? Oh, by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Book It Sports. They were on a few weeks ago. Their app is live. So everybody, please go to their website, bookitsports.app, bookitsports.app. You can download their iPhone or Android versions of the app right now. You could go out there and use it. I used it today just to look up the spreads for the Packers-Niners game, and it's great. One-stop shop. You get your lines, you get your advice from handicappers in the business, and you got to go check it out. Book It Sports, great guys and a great product. Do that now. So it's a 3-point spread. the Packers and the Niners. Like we mentioned before, the Niners have Garoppolo down. Mostert, I think, is still out. Kittle might miss the rest of the year.
I think he's done.
Rodgers could not get out of his own way last year against the 49ers when the 49ers were rolling on that defense and that strong defense going. But this is not the same team. The Packers are favored by 3. They might not have Aaron Jones, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think the Packers are going to win by at least a touchdown. And honestly, my prediction is 33-10 Packers.
Yeah. Look, Jimmy G's not playing, right? He's hurt.
No, Jimmy G is definitely out. Nick Mullins will start.
Packers.
Kittle is out. We might have Jordan Reed back.
The mash unit, dude. Packers.
Yeah.
Packers. I'm taking Packers to cover. I mean, that's just.
I mean, by 3? Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't see how they're going to be able to keep up. They're beat up.
The only thing that could possibly happen is Rodgers will have to be seeing ghosts and be all like shook because of what happened last year and like how they made him, how they were his daddy.
Not going to happen.
Well, that's really the only thing. It has to be psychological. That's the only way.
Yeah. No, I think this year with how beat up the Niners are, it's over, dude. I think the Packers cover.
I mean, they also traded another defensive piece too, the little that they had left. How come they didn't keep Chris Angulo? I mean, come on.
I have no idea, man.
Let's be real, but
let's get him out there, man.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna get a shot. But yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us. As always, from the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter crew, and welcome to the show, everyone on LinkedIn and Twitch. We're happy to have you catch the show, and we will be back Thursday night. 2 great guests. We have Barry Gollenbeck from SportsData.io, and we have former MLB star Scott Hairston joining the show. So until then. Enjoy the rest of the night, and enjoy, watching the rest of the election process. And we will see you Thursday night.
Peace, everybody. Have a good night.